No matter what the level, from boys and girls clubs to high school to the NCAAs, mention the words Final Four, and it conjures up, at least in our minds, some pretty good basketball. We come to you live from the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center on the campus of Everett Community College in Everett, Washington. This is game number 7 of the 2016 Northwest Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championships. Hello, everybody. Tom Lafferty along with Bill Kusler this afternoon. Today's matchup featuring the Peninsula Pirates at 24-5 and the Lower Columbia Red Devils at 23-9. Winner of this game will meet the winner of today's second semifinal game between Wenatchee Valley and the defending NWAC Women's Championship Lane Titans. That title game is tomorrow at 5:30. The losers will play for third place tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Should remind folks, if you're heading out this way for Sunday basketball, it'll start a little later. The 9 a.m. game has been canceled tomorrow for undisclosed violations. But there's no violations here. Bill Kusler, we're ready for Final Four basketball. Who are you looking for when you talk about, first of all, let's talk about the Peninsula Pirates.
Well, the Peninsula Pirates have been led all season long by Sierra Marsh and Imani Smith. Smith averaging 13.5 points per game, about 3 assists a game, and 5 rebounds. Sierra Moss, a guard from outside, almost 16 points per ball game. She had a high of 27. And in the quarterfinal game, Imani Smith just went wild, 25 points, 9 boards. So for Peninsula, they've got a lot of firepower, and they got Zara Laster inside, averages 9 points per game, but averages over 10 rebounds per ball game.
How about for the Lower Columbia Red Devils coming into the NWAC tournament, sitting at 23-9?
They do, and they're led by their guard, Katie Hawkins. Hawkins averaging 14 points per ball game, 7 rebounds per ball game, and just the 5'11 forward out of VF Weston, Chehalis, has really done a great job for that team this year. She popped in 25 in that quarterfinal victory over Spokane.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Lower Columbia Red Devils. Chad Meters is their coach. We mentioned 23-9. Katie Hankins, from WF Weston Chehalis, a 5'11 sophomore. Katerina Brekova from Veronia, Prague in the Czech Republic, a 5'10 sophomore. Kiahi Lele Roy from Leahua, Alea in Hawaii at 5'6", a freshman. Samantha Boyce from Waukayakum and Kathlamet, a 5'5 freshman. And Bailey Huckett from Tootle Lake, 5'9 freshman. Those are the starters for Columbia River, or the Lower Columbia Red Devils. For the Peninsula Pirates, Zara Laster from Sedona Red Rock in Port Angeles, a 5'9 sophomore. Jessie McKnight from Quest Prep in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sierra Moss from Nia Bay at 5'7", a sophomore. Cherish Moss, also from Nia Bay, averaging 7.1 points per ball game, a 5'7" sophomore. And Imani Smith from Norco in Ontario, California. So the officials are coming out on the floor. We're going to be ready for some basketball. Mark Ickert, Sean Martin, Tracy Brown are the referees, and we're set to go. It is Lower Columbia, and it is the Peninsula Pirates. Nice clashing uniforms. We've got red for Lower Columbia. They are the Red Devils, so that'll tell you something there. Peninsula Pirates in white, and underway we are, and it'll be controlled by Lower Columbia. The Red Devils moving to our right in their red uniforms, white numbers, black trim. To the top of the key they go. Samantha Boyce. Now give it off. Here's a dribble drive going in, a little bit too hard for Brekova, and she will go to the free throw line. So just about 14 seconds into the contest, we're going to have our first points, should be, coming from the free throw line.
You can see Hankins underneath their leading scorer, really posting up, trying to ask for the basketball, and Peninsula is really going to have to account for her underneath.
Cherish Moss, first personal, first team. First free throw is up and good for Brekova. 5'7" sophomore from Veronia, Prague in the Czech Republic, 5.5 points per ball game. Second team, NWAC West Division. Next free throw is good as well. So Lower Columbia, first possession, gets 2 points out of it from the free throw line. Now the first possession for the Peninsula Pirates. Moving to our left in the home white uniforms, trimmed in black. And there's just an unforced bad pass there by Cherish Moss, and it'll be taken by Lower Columbia. Lower Columbia with it, and then a pass over into back court and out of bounds. And so it'll turn right back over. Turnabout is fair play. A turnover on Lower Columbia. It'll be Peninsula basketball.
Both these ball clubs, Tom, coming in as number 1 seeds out of their regionals. Peninsula, a 71-55 victory over Treasure Valley, and then they knocked off Ottumwa 70-67 to get here tonight.
Underneath they go. Janice McKnight, nice ball movement there. Quest Prep Las Vegas ties the score at 2-2. In fact, Bill, if you were betting, you would take the chalk, and you'd be doing pretty well so far in this women's tournament.
Yeah, all 4 semifinalists were the number 1 seeds out of their region.
Here's a running a lay-in up and good. That was a steal by Laster, and the bucket up and in of the 5'9 sophomore gives Peninsula their first lead of the ball game. Our first lead change, 4-2 lead. Quarters, 10-minute quarters here in women's college basketball. That 3 was a miss. Out for a reload on a 3. There's another one. That one will rattle off no good by Keahi Roy, and it'll be taken up floor. Here's Peninsula with the basketball. Left side, Imani Smith as they'll work the perimeter. Sierra Moss dribbles through, stops, plants, puts it up from 10, and it won't go. And Samantha Boyce gathers in the rebound for Lower Columbia. Long down floor pass, saved from going out of bounds there by Katie Hankins, but right into the hands of a Pirate. That's 3 turnovers so far on Lower Columbia. Pass right side, Sierra Moss. Out on top, that's the 3 that will not go. A miss by Cherish Moss, so it passed to her sister, both sisters out of Nia Bay, Washington. And controlled by Lower Columbia, down by 2 here, 7:56 to go, first quarter. Looking for a pass for Katie Hankins, and Bill, about 6 trips down the floor, and 4 of those have resulted in turnovers and giving it right back to Peninsula.
Yeah, Lower Columbia looks a little bit tight tonight, wanting to get the ball to Hankins. She had excellent body position underneath. Had that pass been where it should have been, could have been an easy lay-in as Lower Columbia goes back into their 2-3 zone.
Out on top it goes, Janice McKnight, and then over to the right side for a 3 ball. Won't go for Imani Smith. And the rebound, another rebound grabbed down by Katie Hankins. Up the floor quickly they come. To the top of the key for about a 16-footer. Hankins will miss that one. No turnover that time, just a miss. And Peninsula clears out, leading at 4-2 here. About 3 minutes into the contest. They try for a pass down low, but the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. Oh, they say last touch by Peninsula. It'll be a turnover on the Pirates, and the Red Devils will take the basketball.
Fun watching Laster. Laster, number 4 in the white, is just 5'9", and yet averaging over 10 boards per ball game.
In the corner, wide open 3. That one will not go. A miss in the corner by Bailey Hockett. And the rebound controlled by Peninsula. Pirates with the basketball. Work over the left-hand side. Sierra Moss puts it up, rattles, and it goes. And 1 coming up here for Sierra Moss out of Nia Bay. Averages 15.5 points per ball game, and she'll try to get a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and she will go to the free throw line.
Nice anticipation over on the left wing. It's a little inside fake, goes to the outside, takes 1 big step, kisses it softly off the glass.
First personal foul is going to be whistled on Katerina Brekova, and the first team foul. Free throw, good for Sierra Moss. 3-point play, biggest lead, up by 5 are the Peninsula Pirates, coming in at 24-5. Allison Crum, their head coach, coach of the year in the West Division of NWAC basketball. Shot comes up woefully short, just off the clanks off the front of the iron by Katie Hankins, and again Peninsula grabs another rebound going in, but we're going to have a block shot on the other end. Blocked out under there by Katerina Brekova, and the outlet up the floor, but intercepted. We go back the other way. The interception by Zara Laster. She's got a couple of steals that time. Will she add a 3? No, it won't go. But the rebound back up, and it won't go as well for Imani Smith. A couple of good looks there, but they could not capitalize. But Lower Columbia will on the other end, as Keahi Lele Roy will put it up and in. And the lead is 3 points and a timeout on the floor with 6:14 to play here in the first quarter of action. Our score, it's Peninsula 7, Lower Columbia 4. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
My name is Chrissy Davis-Jones. I am the Associate Dean of Student Development at Spokane Falls Community College. I have the privilege of working with so many different types of students. And each one of them, I would definitely say, I see a little piece of myself in them. I love the fact that the community allows you to really get involved. It's a matter of choice, in my opinion. We all owe something. So in what capacity will you serve? My name is Chrissy Davis-Jones. This is my college, my community.
Go first quarter of action, quarter basketball in college women as of this year. And they'll bring it up, and it'll be Peninsula with the basketball, leading it by 3, 7-4. Imani Smith on top. Anaya Rodisha has checked into the ball game out of Las Vegas, Nevada. That's Sierra Moss. Now Smith again, back to Moss on top of the key. 7 to shoot, and they will shoot. That's a 3. That's an air ball by Rodisha. Missed, but it's flagged down there by Imani Smith. She turns, faces, and had to go up real quickly and get bailed out by the foul. As the first 3 on the left-hand side was a complete miss, so it never reset the 30-second clock. So that time Imani Smith grabbed the rebound, had to turn and just chuck it up there, and she got fouled right at the horn for the shot clock violation. And Faye Chartra will pick up the foul, her first personal, second team.
Sure, the coaching staff wasn't happy with that one, but sometimes when action is going, you don't know, how much time is on the shot clock on the defensive side.
Imani Smith from Norco High School in Ontario, California. First free throw, no good. Second one is airborne, and it is good. And she got fouled in the act of a three-pointer, so she will get 3 free throws. So here comes the third. Misses. And the rebound controlled by Lower Columbia. Grabbed by Krista Cannon out of Kodiak, Alaska. Brekova from the Czech Republic on the dribble. On top again for a 3 that won't go. A miss by Chartra, and the rebound controlled by Peninsula. A handful of rebounds already is Imani Smith. Deep in the right corner, Zara Laster. They'll work the perimeter. Again to the top, Moss. Rodisha again to the baseline, kicks it back out, and then a offensive foul is going to be called. She dumped the ball off to her teammate, but they're going to call Anaya Rodisha for the foul. Just turned and just kind of plowed into a Lower Columbia Red Devil, and the foul will be whistled. Her first personal foul, second team foul on the Pirates.
Hankins in great position inside to draw that charge. Peninsula with full court pressure.
8-4 lead, 4 points the lead for Peninsula here. 4:56 to play, first quarter at Everett Community College, the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center. First semifinal game for women's basketball. Here's a 3 that won't go, air ball, missed everything. Faye Chartra, she's 0 for 5, or they are actually 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Left side they go. Smith working to Rodisha. Inside, turnaround jumper, won't go for Zara Laster, and another rebound by Lower Columbia. Red Devils out of backcourt. Brekova stopped between the circles.
Good defense applied by both ball clubs, and each team struggling from outside.
Will this one go? Just as Bill says, struggling, and down it goes for Keahi Lele Roy out of Leahua, Hawaii. And so pulls them to within 1 point.
That was a great look. She had all the time in the world to set up.
Here's a dribble in, won't go. Missed by Sierra Moss. Kept alive, though, and grabbed by the Red Devils. Brekova seems to have a nose for a loose ball wherever it is. And she'll bring it out of backcourt. Eschews the pass and then went around the defense and then can't hit the lay-in. And it's going to be picked up and grabbed by Peninsula. 1-on-3 break for Peninsula's Imani Smith. She gets fouled on the way in, and she'll have to earn him at the free throw line.
Smith averaging a little over 13 points per ball game and 5.5 rebounds per game. Nice aggressive move to the hoop.
Roy picks up the foul, her first personal foul, third team foul, and free throws here for Imani Smith. Averages 13.3 points per ball game during the regular year.
She had 25 in the quarterfinals and 9 rebounds.
Chad Meadors will put 3 new bodies out on the floor. Lucia Salava from Heritage High School in Vancouver will check in at a guard spot. Lexi Turner from Lost River High School in Merrill, Oregon will check in as well. And the first time we've seen one more. Oh, Carissa Cannon from Kodiak. We had her before. Up the floor. Here comes Lower Columbia after the miss. The baseline closed off there for Cannon. She'll think better of it and swing it back out to the top of the key. On top, that's Salava. Dribbles underneath. Was trying for the hook pass to her teammate Bailey Hockett, but it was knocked out of bounds. So still in the possession of the Lower Columbia Red Devils with 12 on the shot clock. 3:18 to go in the first quarter.
Lower Columbia, 5 quick turnovers in this ball game, but they've done a much better job taking care of the basketball here as of late.
Inbounds to Chartres. Was going to go along the baseline, but that was quickly road close sign there. So back out. 4 seconds, 3 seconds to shoot. Down to 2, down to 1. She doesn't know it, and time will expire on the shot clock. That's running stairs right there, isn't it? You got to. Well, I didn't hear anything from the. Usually the bench starts screaming at about 7 seconds, but no screaming there, and the shot clock violation. Down low, back out. They just work it around. Nice ball movement there for a 3 that will not go. That's a miss for Cherish Moss, and then rolling out of bounds with it. And they're going to say, yep, rolling out of bounds, and so therefore turning it over is Anaya Rhodesia. So it'll be over to Columbia River or Lower Columbia. It is the Columbia River. It's just not part of the name. It's just
roll on, Columbia, roll on.
That's right. 2:45 to play first quarter. A 9-7 lead for Peninsula over Lower Columbia, LCC. Turning and facing, but good defense right in the grill was Janice McKnight. And she was denying her access to the basket. So with 16 to shoot, it'll be an out-of-bounds play by Lower Columbia on the baseline. Chartres on top again to Salava. Bounce it underneath. It's going to be a turnover. No, not yet. It's going to be actually picked up by Salava. 6 to shoot, 5 to shoot now. Are they going to do it again? It's going to go over the head. It's going to be picked off and grabbed by Peninsula. Here come the Pirates leading by 2. They bring it up with 2:15 to play here in the opening quarter. Left side, Cherish Moss. Over to Imani Smith. Inside, kind of chucking it up there was Janice McKnight, and she got bailed out by the foul. It's an off-balance shot, and she's going to throw it up there. Instead, she's going to have 2 free throws coming up here at the free throw line.
You can tell that defensive effort on both ball clubs' part is excellent, and that's one of the reasons they've made it all the way to the semifinals here. Tough D.
Low-scoring game so far, 9-7 score. First free throw rattles and drops through for Janice McKnight. She'll get another.
I like those Janice McKnight signature shoes. About 9 different colors. They're pretty.
Right. Next free throw is good. Got them both in, and the lead is 4 for Peninsula. And then a turnover by Lower Columbia. They have 8 turnovers here, and we're only not even 8 minutes into the ball game.
And Imani Smith really sold it, too.
Yeah.
She was spinning. She was signaling the ball her way, and it indeed was.
So inbounds here for the Peninsula Pirates, and then an immediate release for a 3 by Rhodesia will miss, but it'll be a reload here by Peninsula as they grab the rebound. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Dump it down low. Nice ball movement there for an easy lay-in from Imani Smith from Cherish Moss. And the lead is now out to 6 points for Peninsula, their biggest lead of the contest.
Moss really aware of where her teammates were on the floor. And nice pass.
Left side, Salava, and then a whistle. Salava had at the wing. And they're going to whistle in a substitute here. Katie Hankins returns to the lineup for Lower Columbia. Minute 38 to play, first quarter, a 6-point lead for the Pirates. Red Devil basketball at the baseline. Open 3. Air ball for a 3, won't go. Carissa Cannon with the miss. And the rebound cleared out by Peninsula. Down to the baseline, Laster. back out on top. Little stutter step move. They get it down low to Daihan Cooks. And it will be a turnover out of bounds. Lower Columbia will take it with 30 on the shot clock. 1:20 to play in the first quarter.
Peninsula, even though they didn't get one that time, really moving the ball well and getting a lot of nice looks.
Samantha Boyce goes in. Affected shot there. We'll give a partial, they're going to say jump ball. One official pointed one way, and now they're going to say jump ball on the alternating possession. It's going to go over to Peninsula.
Cherish is the word I use to describe that.
We're going to have a timeout called here at the end, almost at the end of the first quarter. We'll step aside here. 1:08 to go in the first. Peninsula 13, LCC 7. This is the NWAC Championship on STSPN.
I remember the moment clearly,
I'll never forget that moment.
as long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at National.
Time for EVCC trivia time. Why do 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? The answer, cutting edge technology. And we'll teach you how to use it. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. Peninsula with the basketball, under a minute to play. Turnaround jumper on the way, won't go. And the ball went out of bounds, and so it'll be Lower Columbia basketball. So LCC with the basketball, 24 to shoot. Dribbling in, kind of an underhanded shot that won't go for Faye Chartrand. No foul call. She went hard to the floor, and that'll be picked up by Peninsula. Pirates with it. Little early offense won't go for Rhodesia. Ball went out of bounds. Last touch by Lower Columbia. It'll still be in the possession of Peninsula. There's a 9/10 of a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Rhodesia had an extra gear that time.
And she'll throw it in. Here's a three on the throw in. Boy, the threes just are not going this afternoon. They're just for either team on either end, and that one will not go. Peninsula's 0 for 7 from beyond the arc here in this first quarter, of which there's 24 seconds remaining.
LCC 1 for 7 from outside, so both teams needing to make it happen in close.
Down to 14, down to 13. Lower Columbia dribbling it out, waiting for the final shot here. Down to 8, down to 7. That's Brekova dribbling in, swing it out. There's a three on the way. It goes down as the time will expire, end of the quarter, and the first quarter score. It's the Peninsula Pirates 13, the Lower Columbia Red Devils 10. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
Always improving with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Good, high knees, knee up, toe up, knee up. Come on, Silver Fox. I like it, I see the hustle. I see the hustle for the baby. Name that route.
Albuquerque, New Orleans, Atlanta, Cancun.
Faster, faster, faster. Lost teddy bear. Open guy, hit him, hit him, hit him. Oh, let's make those hungry customers full customers, why not, huh? I like it. Let's go, let's go. It's not even 7 a.m. yet.
Alaska Airlines.
No time to sleep.
You to play with heart.
Got it?
Pass the ball. Right here.
(13-10) the score. Peninsula with the lead as we head into the second quarter of action here at Everett Community College. The winner of this game will play either Wenatchee Valley or Lane. That's a 4 o'clock game, also live here at STSPN. In the championship for the NWAC women tomorrow at 5:30. All those games here on STSPN.com.
big three for Roy just to end that first quarter after LCC kind of struggled in that quarter, brought them back to within 3, and they get the opening possession here in quarter number 2.
Dribbling in, pull-up jumper on the way, it goes. 2 points up and in for Samantha Boyce, makes it 15-10 the score.
Actually, it should be 13-12. They
okay.
corrected it on the scoreboard as LCC pulls to within 1.
You just can't believe everything you read. Here's the shot on the way. That's going to be a miss for a 3 by Moss, no good. And a travel off the rebound. Heads-up play there to grab the rebound for a Janice McKnight. Then she traveled with the basketball before she could get rid of it. So turns it over, right back over to Red Devils, and they'll have it. Here's a dribble drive in, and then dump a pass in the corner. A little runner with a right hand that won't go. A miss there by Keahilele Roy, and the rebound controlled by Peninsula. Pirates with it in the corner right side. Cherish Moss. They'll work the perimeter here. Sierra on the left side. Now inside, trying to dump a pass down low is Janice McKnight, but the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by a Pirate, so it'll be Red Devil basketball.
Well, defense was king in the first quarter, as Lower Columbia is shooting just 23% from the field, and Peninsula also just 23% from the field. Just shows you what kind of defense is being played.
A little out of control there, trying to back her way down there was Samantha Boyce, and she's going to be called for the player control foul, and that will be an offensive foul whistled against Boyce for Lower Columbia. That's her first personal foul. First team foul of the second quarter. Reset in college women's basketball as of this year. You get 5 team fouls each quarter, and you go immediately to the 2 points. There's no 1-and-1 anymore in college women's basketball, if you haven't been caught up on the collegiate women's rules this year.
I like both those rules. I like going back to the quarters, and I like the reset on the fouls.
Here's a shot on the way. A 3 rattles off. No, won't go for Sierra Moss. The best rule is ball scramble on the floor. Coach can't call a timeout.
I know that's a little pet peeve of yours, and I knew that you would love that.
That's in men's too. You can't call timeout from the bench while the ball is in play. You can call timeout when the clock is stopped. The coach can, but in play it has to be on the floor. That's from the old days, Bill, when you used to play.
Way back when. Well, it's really fun seeing these women play ball. I had the opportunity back in the day to watch my sister play at Wazoo.
It's a different game now, though.
Really, in 40 years, the game has changed a little.
As Peninsula with the lead, 13-12, and now here's a cast for a 3 that will not go for Smith, but a reload here and a travel. But Janice McKnight can't buy a break. Every time that she gets a rebound, then she commits a turnover. So she's padding her stats on one side and then committing a turnover on the other.
Yeah, but those are mistakes, but they're hustle mistakes.
Yep.
She's working really hard and doing a great job. Just could not keep her pivot foot down as her momentum was taking her backwards.
Well, every coach will say, I'll take a physical mistake. I'll take something that you're hustling for, just not the mental mistakes. But she will be rewarded by going to the bench. Lower Columbia with the basketball. Ball knocked out of bounds with 17 on the shot clock.
Very interesting game so far, Tom. It looked like Peninsula was really going to dominate early. They were getting much better looks and shoot, but neither team able to shoot really well. And LCC hung in there, hit that 3 at the end of the first quarter, and are right back in this.
Lower Columbia on the inbounds, and the foul is going to be called on Cherish Moss. Blocked her, and Moss picks up her second personal foul. First team foul of the second quarter. 7:40 to play in the quarter, and Cherish Moss will go to the bench. Allison Crum, the head coach of Peninsula, coach of the year in the West Division, coming in at 24-5. Columbia River with the basketball and a fresh 30 to shoot, 7.5 to play in the first half. Tom Lafferty with Bill Kusler and Steve Willits on the floor. Shot on the way, bang, down goes that 3 for Samantha Boyce, and gives Lower Columbia their first lead in a while, and they lead it here by 2 points at 15-13, and a turnover by Peninsula. Back the other way we go, Lower Columbia with it. The lane won't go, it's too hard. Roy missed it, and then
she laughed. They tipped the ball to her. She's standing out of bounds. She just sort of shrugged and laughed and handed it to the official.
So that is our second lead change of the game. Lower Columbia 15-13 lead now with just under 7 minutes to play in the first half. And here's a foul. Overplay on the defense there for Keahilele Roy, and she's going to be called for the pushing foul. That's her second personal foul, second team foul. So out of bounds, near sideline.
Well, LCC has hit their last 2 3-point attempts after hitting just one of their first 7, and that has allowed them to take this lead.
Top of the key, Smith. As they swing it over to the back to the top again to Sierra Moss along the baseline, splitting the defender and laying it up and in is Imani Smith. Imani Smith puts it up and in. Her first points of the quarter and our second tie of the first half, and it's a 15-15 tie. Here's not a steal. Almost a steal, but they're going to say off of a Peninsula player, and she was down flat on the deck, still scrambling for the basketball. Imani Smith, good hustle play there, affecting the play. 19 to shoot. The top of the number is cut off by the stanchion there, so I have to use the one on the other end on the shot clock. Right side for Olivia Dorr. On top now, Katie Hankins, and a foul called. Hankins had it on top, and they're going to whistle Daihan Cooks from Canyon Springs, Las Vegas, with her first personal foul, the second team foul, and free throws coming up here.
Hankins, their leading scorer, but she's been held scoreless up until that free throw.
First free throw is good. Hankins out of WF West High School in Chehalis. She was first team NWAC West Division was Hankins. First free throw was a good. Second one is a good as well, and that's a 17-15 lead for Lower Columbia. Now back down the floor is Peninsula in the corner. Smith puts it up from the lane, won't go. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by Lower Columbia. They'll keep it. 6:01 to play first half. Looking for the inbounds. Pirates finally get it.
Peninsula quicker inside. They just haven't been able to connect on those quick shots inside.
And that 2-ball inside the arc won't go. A miss for Sierra Moss and cleared out by Lower Columbia. Red Devils with the basketball, leading it by 2, 17-15. 5:45 to play first half. And a whistle. They got it to Cannon right in front of the Peninsula bench on the far side. And they're going to whistle a foul away from the basketball. And this is going to be called on Cooks. She picks up her second foul and the third team foul.
Just trying to body Hankins out from underneath and was a little too physical.
So Lower Columbia with a fresh 30 on the shot clock, and they'll get it on the inbounds, and Boyce has it, and she releases. Won't go. That was a 2-ball miss, and the rebound controlled by Laster. Brings it up as they'll swing it left-hand side, dump it down low again. McKnight back out to Laster, rattles and goes. Zara Laster puts it up and in, and we are tied at 17-17 as Lower Columbia quickly brings it up. As they will work around the perimeter, and here's a steal. Yes, it is, and then a foul called. A blocking foul is going to be called. Almost a clip. Yes, Imani Smith got it on the interception, heading the other way, and then just trying to prevent her from getting into a front court, and they will whistle a foul here on Lower Columbia's Cannon. Carissa Cannon picks up her first personal foul, third team foul. 5:06 to play first half.
Well, Smith got that steal. She had the option of crossing over her dribble and coming back to the inside, but she decided to plow right in and draw the foul. I mean, it was a good decision.
Yeah. Dumping it down inside. McKnight kind of fights through traffic and puts it up and in and gives Peninsula the lead at 19-17. Our third lead change of this first half. 4:41 to play in the first half. Now we're Lower Columbia in the red uniforms. White numbers, black trim moving to our right. Up fake once with Hankins. Thinks better of it. And she'll swing it over as they work the left side. 13 to shoot. Lower Columbia. Brekova Tries to split the defenders, but the defenders just closed the door there. But the rebound back up and a miss by Hankins, but she will have to earn him at the free throw line. Off the miss by Brakova, and then Hankins grabbed the rebound. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor, and we will step aside with 4 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the first half of action. Our score, Peninsula 19, Lower Columbia 17. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
As certified jumpers, divers, and survival experts, Special Forces are dropped behind enemy lines to train foreign fighters, carry out covert missions, or prevent future conflicts. These soldiers live for the challenge, highly trained and highly intelligent. Special Forces soldiers are the best of the best.
They told me,
sure, you'll be a nurse.
Sure, you'll teach design.
Sure, you'll go to college. When penguins fly.
Side by side from now on. You and I can fly away from here.
I'm a Clark College penguin.
I'm a Clark College penguin.
Watch me fly.
Watch me fly.
Watch me fly.
Are you ready to fly? Visit us at clark.edu/penguinsfly.
Bill, these two teams met earlier in the season as well.
They certainly did back in November. The game was at Lower Columbia, and Peninsula really had their way with Lower Columbia, defeating the Red Devils 72-51. Had a big first half, and Lower Columbia could never recover, but much different story here this afternoon as Peninsula and LCC 19-18.
And it could be 19-19 with one more free throw here by Katie Hankins. It is. That is our fourth tie of this first half. And we'll have a substitute here for Lower Columbia. Maria Villanueva from Burley, Idaho will check in for the first time in the ballgame. Peninsula with the basketball, a 19-19 tie. As they work it left, Amani Smith. Now to Rhodesia, goes in. Won't go, but the rebound, reload here. Laster has it. Back out on top again to Smith. 22 to shoot. Rhodesia with it right wing. They're looking down low, but pretty good defense here by Lower Columbia. Pull-up jumper will not go. A miss by Sierra Moss. And the rebound controlled by Lower Columbia. Red Devils basketball, a 19-19 tie. And we're going to have a foul here on Lower Columbia. Moving screen. A block foul here on Lower Columbia's Red Devils. And they're going to whistle this one on Katie Hankins, her first personal foul, fourth team foul. So one more for either team will put them into what goes directly into the double bonus at 2 shots. No 1-and-1 in women's basketball in the collegiate level. And here's a steal. Steal or a bad pass, it's a fine line. Villanueva, though, picks up the basketball for the Red Devils, a chance to take the lead. On top, Brakova. Back out for a 3-ball that's on the way. That's going to be a little bit short. No good by Chartres. A miss, but again, it'll be grabbed by Lower Columbia. They'll start their offense one more time with a fresh 30 on the shot clock. 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's a near steal. Almost had it, was Laster, but Lower Columbia still has it. Now down to 15 to shoot. Working left side, Brakova to across the top of the key. To Hockett, back to Brakova again. 8 to shoot. She goes in, splits the defense, and gets fouled on the way in. Pretty good ball movement there by Lower Columbia. They just kept fighting and looking for an open shot. And finally, Brakova just kind of said, I'm taking it to the rack and see what happens.
Brakova very aggressive, not afraid to mix it up inside at all. Guard at 5'10", very strong, very aggressive.
Out of the Czech Republic. First free throw is good. Lower Columbia back to a lead. And that is our fourth lead change. Next one. Yes. Hey.
Boom, 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 boom.
As long as it drops through, that's okay. You'll take every point. So now Peninsula with a chance to tie. Will they? No. It's going to be a miss by Sierra Moss. And the rebound, tie up on the floor. Jump ball will be called. Alternating possession stays in the possession of Peninsula. After the miss, still 30 on the shot clock. 2:33 to play in the first half. Steve Willits will chat with one of the coaches going off the floor here. Immediate inbounds play, nicely done. They've worked on that one a few times. Zara Laster from Port Angeles puts it up and puts it in, and we are tied at 21.
Kind of a modified, when you're doing an alley-oop to a 5'9" forward.
That's right.
But it was very successful. She plays way taller than her 5'9".
Now Lower Columbia in a 21-21 tie. Looking for Hankins, can't find her, but they're going to oh no, yeah, it will be last touched actually by the passer. Hankins never could catch up to it, and Peninsula just let it fly out of bounds.
Sierra Moss tried to grab it, whiffed on it, and then just realized, oh, that's okay. They touched it last anyway.
So here's Peninsula out of Port Angeles as they work it down low, even lower, back out as they're just going to work it around. Rhodesia with it, and then tried one too many passes. It worked a couple times, but then Laster had it and then threw it out of bounds. So it'll be Lower Columbia basketball. Inside 2 minutes to play.
Very impressive, though. Even though they end up with a turnover, they move the ball so quickly against that 2-3 zone.
Tied at 21. Brikova on top to Villanueva. Back to Brikova again. 16 to shoot.
Peninsula's done a great job taking away Hankins in the post.
They're looking for her. They tried to force it in there, couldn't do it, and Laster grabs the steal. Bounce pass forward to Sierra Moss, misses the lay-in, but another rebound by Laster. A fresh 30 on the shot clock. We're a minute 20 to play in the first half. Rhodesia. Sierra Moss looking in the corner. Up fake is Laster, then she will take it. She didn't go up the first time, did the second time for a three, won't go. Hankins grabs the rebound for Lower Columbia. 1:05 to play in the first half. A 21-21 tie. Here's a steal. Grabbed by Laster. Stops. Bounce. Lay in. Good for Anea Rhodesia. And it's a 23-21 lead for Peninsula.
Great play by Laster. Not only makes the steal, but doesn't force anything. Comes to a jump stop. Gives it to her teammate for the easy lay-in.
Lower Columbia trying to answer, can't. It's going to be partially blocked, but then back out for Hankins. Her sideline baseline jumper from 8 won't go, and grabbed now by Peninsula, but a bad pass forward, and it'll go out of bounds. Again, we're at a 9/10 differential from the game clock to the shot clock with 30 seconds to play.
Peninsula only had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, but they're up to 12, so 9 Peninsula turnovers here in the second quarter, which has allowed LCC to hang in there.
Should be the last shot of the first half for Lower Columbia.
They had this situation at the end of the first quarter and were able to isolate Roy on a baseline for a 3. Let's see if they can do that again.
Down to 16 seconds to go. Trying to back in is Brikova. Down to 12, down to 11 seconds. As they work it over the right side to Salava. She'll shoot with 5 seconds to go, won't go. Quickly down comes the Peninsula Ball Club for a lay-in at the horn, and they will count it for Rhodesia. Nicely done there after the steal and the grab by Smith. Found Rhodesia for the lay-in. It's up and it is good. And at the end of the first half of action, it's Peninsula 25. And one of the head coaches here for the, looks like it's going to be Peninsula head coach Allison Crum. We'll hear from Steve Willits here in just a moment, making his way over to her as they're getting some instruction before they go into the locker room here for the halftime. This first semifinal game, Wenatchee Valley and Lane will play here at 4 o'clock. And let's get a comment from the coach. Let's go down to Steve.
All right, thanks, Tom. With Allison Crum right now. Coach Crum, tough first half, much different than the game you played back in November. What's been the biggest difference?
I think their zones doing a really good job of keeping us on the outside. We're not hitting outside shots, and so we're having a tough time putting the ball in the hole, and that's really been the main difference. I think we've got to go into the second half a lot more confident. We're shooting sort of backwards. We got to get a couple shots in from the outside just so we can relax, and once we do that, I think we'll be fine.
All right, good luck to you. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve, with Allison Crum of the Peninsula Pirates. So at the half, it is Peninsula 25, Lower Columbia 21. We'll take a look at all the stats and get ready for the second half coming up. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
It's all around us. It's the ground upon which we stand. The well-worn paths, and the ones that haven't been forged. It's our history, and our what lies ahead. It's ours to nurture and to protect. We're a force for community and for country. We have the skills to define our future and our nation's future. To make a stand. For our way of life. And we will so promise back into the land of the free. Individually, we're trailblazers. Pioneers, preservationists. United, we are the keepers of the dream. And we are on guard.
welcome you back to Everett Community College, the NWAC Women's Championship. Peninsula leading Lower Columbia 25-21. Let's go down to Steve Willits on the floor.
Thanks, Tom. I'm with Chad Metters, the coach of Lower Columbia right now. Coach, a much better half than what you played back in November. I know you weren't real happy about the way the half ended with that last layup, but certainly a 25-21 game, much more manageable.
No, we're right there. We are. We're right there. We've had our opportunities. We got to take care of the basketball better. We've got to make sure that we understand that they're in the passing lanes, and that provides driving lanes, and we got to attack the basket a lot harder than what we're doing. And we got to find a way to get Kate involved in the offense. So that's our keys.
Defensively, you forced 12 turnovers in the first half. You have to be happy with that.
Yeah, our defense is going great. If we will stop turning the ball over, leading to quick transition points for them, and if we finish off the defensive possession with a block out and a rebound, then we'd be in a lot better shape. We'd probably be up a few.
Sounds like an easy formula. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Steve. Bill, let's take a look at the stat numbers, and you do want to get that turnover total down.
Yeah, we certainly do. For the Lower Columbia Red Devils, they are led in scoring by Keahi Lele Roy. She had 8 points in the first half. Samantha Boyce chipped in 5 and 4 points apiece for Brakova and Hankins. Hankins only took 2 shots from the field, however, and that's why Coach wants to get her more involved in the offense. For Peninsula, they are led by the 6 points of Imani Smith, 6 also for Janissa McKnight and Zara Laster, 4 points for Anaya Rhodesia, 3 points for Sierra Moss. Laster also picked up 7 rebounds and 3 assists for Sierra Moss. And both teams, the shooting has been tough. Peninsula shooting 30% from the field, and Lower Columbia just 23% from the field.
Here we go. Second half getting underway. Alternating possession will favor Lower Columbia. They'll be moving to our left here in this half in their red jerseys, white numbers, and black trim. And going in, the shot won't go. Kept alive there. Kept alive by Peninsula, but Lower Columbia will keep it. So the first miss, and now they'll try again. Brakova has her way blocked off there, so they'll swing a pass over to the left-hand side. Bailey Hockett looked at a three. Instead, will go in a little closer, puts up a little right-handed running hook shot, won't go. Gets her own rebound. So a fresh 30 on the shot clock, and Lower Columbia says, we'll keep it. We'll keep missing, but we're going to keep trying. Brakova. Now she dribbles in. Nolik pass to the left side for a three that will not go for Samantha Boyce. Ball finally dribbles out of bounds. It'll be last touched by Lower Columbia. It'll be Peninsula basketball.
Well, Lower Columbia did a couple things they wanted to do. First, they got it into Hankins. They want to get her more involved in the offense. She was unable to connect. Great rebound and aggressive style by Hockett to get the ball back. And then they got an open 3 look, which they like to have Boyce take that shot, just could not go. So they did what they wanted to do, all except for a score.
And so it'll be now for the first time Peninsula with the basketball here in the second half, leading by 4 points, 25-21. Looking at the three was Sierra Moss, decided otherwise. Laster won't, gets her own rebound. And they'll reset it again.
That's Laster's 8th rebound on the game.
Here's another three, and that one will drop through, and it will go for Sierra Moss. Averages 15.6 points per ball game. She's a leading scorer for the Peninsula Pirates.
And after going 0 for 10 from three-point range in the first half, Peninsula hits their first three-pointer of the second half.
That might not be good news if you're Lower Columbia. Good news for Lower Columbia there, though, is a little runner by Keahi Lele Roy for the lay-in up and good. Makes it 28-23. The lead for Peninsula over Lower Columbia. Here's a three that this time it won't go way out there for Sierra Moss. That missed. Ball goes out of bounds, though. Last touch by Lower Columbia. And so it'll still be Peninsula basketball. A fresh 30 on the shot clock. 8:06 to play, third quarter.
Moss just wondering if she had the magic. I hit the last one. I'm going to throw that one up if I can. Yeah. That one didn't quite connect.
That was on the middle of the A of the NWAC logo there. No look pass down low, going in, laying no good, foul call. Janice McKnight got it. Went kind of a power move to the rack, and they're going to call a foul here. And the McKnight will go to the free throw line. And the whistle will be against Katerina Brakova. That's her second personal foul, first team foul of the third quarter.
McKnight at 5'11", but she is really strong inside, taking up a lot of space.
First free throw is good, and she will get another. The lead is 6 points for Peninsula, equaling their biggest lead of the game. This gives them the biggest lead of the game. Up by 7 points are the Peninsula Pirates out of Port Angeles. Little kind of half-hearted full court pressure just to keep them honest as Brakova will bring it out of backcourt for Lower Columbia. Looking down low. Closed off at the baseline, so they'll swing it back out to Brakova out between the circles. 15 to shoot. To the left side, Boyce. 9 to shoot now. Brakova again. Down to 6, down to 5. Like a spin move and then a steal. Grabbed by Imani Smith. She'll take it herself all the way to the baseline, but misses the lay-in. The putback is up and it won't go for Janice McKnight. She, again, will go to the free throw line. Grab the offensive rebound off the miss by her teammate, and then she'll go to the line again as she is fouled on the way in there by Bailey Hockett. That's her first personal foul. Second team foul on Lower Columbia. Free throw here for Peninsula's Janice McKnight out of Quest Prep High School in Las Vegas. First free throw, it goes. And that will give Peninsula their biggest lead of the game, up by 8 points.
That's what you get when you hustle to the offensive boards. Oftentimes putbacks, oftentimes drawing the foul.
Next one is good as well. She's got 10 points, and the lead is 9 points at 32-23 for the Pirates. Biggest lead for either team in the ballgame so far. Now Peninsula puts up some full court pressure. And Brakova easily into front court.
That was kind of clever. The previous time down the floor, they kind of put up token pressure, and then that time really trying to do some trapping.
Here's a stop and a pop from 13 feet, and it will not go for Samantha Boyce, and the rebound cleared out by Peninsula. Smith, down low goes Laster, reverse lay-in, wouldn't go, surrounded there by Lower Columbia. The reverse lay-in by Laster was a miss. Lower Columbia gets the basketball. Down by 9, 32-23. With 6:39 to play in the third quarter. A little runner won't go. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot. We'll call it a shot, and that's a rebound and a shot and a make for Bailey Hockett. Now back to Peninsula basketball. Sierra Moss goes in, off the window, and it drops in. Sierra Moss with the bucket, and it's 34-25. Peninsula back out to a 9-point lead. 6:09 to play in the third quarter.
Sorry, Tom. Bunch of those shots that were not dropping in the first half are going down for Peninsula here in the third quarter, and that's what their coach told Steve Willits going into the half. They're getting the looks. They just need to put the ball in the hole.
Dribble drive along the baseline. The lay-in is up and in for Bailey Hockett out of Tootle Lake High School, Tootle Lake, Washington. Averages 5.4 points per ball game during the regular year. Dribbling in, stop, off the glass and in, Sierra Moss. She's from Nia Bay High School. She's got 10 points in the ball game.
She only had 3 at halftime, but Moss, their leading scorer at 15.5 per ball game, is really becoming untracked here in the third quarter.
Turnaround jumper won't go. A miss by Katie Hankins. They have not gotten her firmly entrenched into the offense again. One of the leading scorers in the NWAC. And a first-team All-Western Division NWAC player this season. That's a deep NBA three that will not go, but the putback is up and in for Imani Smith.
A lot of offensive rebounds. You're playing that 2-3 zone. Oftentimes it's hard to find someone to block out.
Steal. Imani Smith goes around the defender, lay it up and in. Smith has got 10 points. They've got 3 players in double figures. The lead is 13 points for Peninsula at 40-27. Biggest lead of the game for either team. Now Lower Columbia trying to get right back on track, and that won't do it. Hankins commits the turnover. Bad to dribble and grabbed, and up the floor comes Peninsula. Sierra Moss. I would think that Chad Meters will be looking for a timeout here. Here's a put-up, won't go. There'll be a media timeout will be coming up. That's where you start to use those to your advantage, the way the NCAAs do, but he may not have a choice but to call a timeout, but he hasn't done it yet. He's still up and coaching. The lead is out to 42-27.
I'm really surprised that he didn't call a timeout a little bit early and settle his girls down, particularly on defense. Peninsula getting really good looks.
Yeah, those coaches, when you watch the NCAA tournament too, they're just not sure whether you use it before the media timeout will come up. Here's a long shot. It won't go. You like to have those timeouts waiting for you at the end of the ball game. That three was a miss. Peninsula again with the basketball, leading it by 15 points, 42-27. Next whistle will be a media timeout, but just haven't had one. Here's a stop and a pop, and it won't go, and the ball goes out of bounds, and that'll bring us to a timeout there on a miss by Smith. Timeout on the floor with 3:30 to play in the third quarter. Our score, Peninsula 42, Lower Columbia 27. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
Company retreat with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Guys, teamwork takes practice. And some days will be a little turbulent. But if we stay focused and show our customers that we care. Care. Now that's giving our best. Best.
Sir, for your safety, please remain seated.
Yes, ma'am.
Giving you our best never stops. Thank you for flying Alaska.
To 30 seconds to play, and suddenly this has become a quarter all in favor of the Peninsula Pirates.
It has indeed. It seems like that turnaround at the end of the first half where the Red Devils missed that three and Peninsula got that lay-in right at the end, really gave them momentum going into the locker room, and they have just taken advantage of every turnover, getting good looks, hitting their free throws, and particularly tough on the offensive boards.
Here's a three that will go. Finally, Bailey Hockett kind of settles the dust a little bit and puts up a three ball up and in for Hockett. Now Peninsula will reload with another three. Bang! Down it goes for Sierra Moss.
And Moss is feeling it.
She's got 13 points in the ball game. It's a 15-point lead for Peninsula.
Hockett doing a nice job with 7 third-quarter points to help LCC try to hang in.
Over the left-hand side, a little closer for a shot that won't go from about 13 feet away. Faye Chartrout with the miss. And Peninsula grabs another rebound, and they'll bring it out of backcourt. Another three, that one trying for a banker that wouldn't go for Sierra Moss. The rebound grabbed down by McKnight. And back out to the top of the key they go. Imani Smith inside for a little hook shot that's up and in. Just about everything's going in. Zara Laster enters the fun for the Peninsula Pirates and makes it now a 17-point lead for Peninsula. Starting to run away with it here in this third quarter, of which there's 2:10 remaining. Three ball on the way here, rattles off, won't go. A miss for Lower Columbia's Carissa Cannon, but they'll reload. Chartrois will and puts it up. It won't go, and Rhodesia grabs the rebound for the Pirates.
Peninsula shot just 21% from the field in the first half, but they are liking this end.
They do indeed. Janice McKnight puts it up and puts it in. It's out to a 19-point lead now for the Pirates. Splitting the defense going in. The hook lay-in won't go for Keahi Lele Roy. Miss, and the rebound controlled by Peninsula one more time. One time Lower Columbia gets a shot and then immediately taken down by Peninsula, and the Pirates with it. Here's a little turnaround, won't go. Rattles off for Laster. Down a minute 20 to play here in the third quarter.
Peninsula on a 24-9 run here in the third quarter.
49-30 the score. A minute 12 to play in the third. 17 to shoot. Hockett dribbles in. Kind of an up fake a little bit there. Into the key they go, and a turnaround jumper in for Katie Hankins.
That's Hankins' first field goal of the ball game. She has 6 points.
And she is one of the leading scorers at 14.1 points per ball game for Lower Columbia. 21 to shoot, 44 on the game clock here in the third quarter. Moss goes into traffic, puts it up again, and it won't go. Neither one would go. Katie Hankins has it. 26 to shoot, 31 on the game clock. Chartres looked like she was going to launch it. She did not. Down to 19 to shoot. 24 on the game clock. We're in the third quarter.
It's all good and well to go for the last shot, but when you're down by 17,
Yeah,
you have to go for the good shot.
They'll find Hankins. It puts up a pretty good-looking shot that won't go. 10 seconds to go. Cleared out here by Laster for Peninsula. They'll get the last shot here. Down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. Here's a put-up, and it's going to be a foul called by Chartres with 2 seconds to go. Chartres draws the foul. That's her second personal foul, third team foul, but it is a shooting foul. So Janice McKnight out of Quest Prep in Las Vegas will go to the free throw line. 68% are at the line.
You can see Peninsula really utilizing their quickness here in the third quarter. They're a very athletic team and just getting a lot of offensive boards and a lot of good looks, slashing through that 2-3 defense, something that they were unable to do in the first half.
First shot will not go. Another one forthcoming for Peninsula. Janice McKnight on the way, and it is no good. Missed them both, but the rebound grabbed down. Turnaround on for a 3 that will not go for Zara Laster. 3 quarters are in the books. Our score after 3, it's Peninsula Pirates 49, the Lower Columbia Red Devils 32. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
The first day of school made it all worth it because I realized that I had made the right choice and I got to pursue my passion, and not just my passion, it was my dream.
When I came here and I'm in a class with 20 to 30 people, your teachers remember you by name. They treat you like you're an adult.
Don't do something that you hate doing for the rest of your life because life is short. You only have one life to live.
Go down to the Peninsula bench with Steve Willits.
Yeah, I was just listening in on Coach Crum talking to her team. 17-point lead, but she's reminding them, of course she's been here before, we cannot drop our intensity. Keep playing the way you're playing. Go for the steals. Play as hard as you've been playing. The game's not over yet.
So here we go, fourth and final quarter. The winner will play either Wenatchee Valley or the defending NWAC championship Lane. That game decided after this one, the 4 o'clock game here at Everett Community College. A little runner that will not go for Peninsula's Amani Smith. And Lower Columbia will bring it down. Now they're going to have to play with a sense of urgency, down by 17 points. And pretty good defense here for Peninsula. Back out to the top, Carissa Cannon. As Lower Columbia working it, 3 will not go. Missed by Salava. Nasia Salava from Heritage High School in Vancouver with a miss. And it'll be Peninsula basketball, leading by 17. We're a minute into the fourth quarter. 4 10-minute quarters. Here's a travel. And what you don't want, Bill, is an unforced error when you're Peninsula. Take care of the basketball. Even if you don't score in every possession, use some time, and let's take it to the end of the game and make it to the finals tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. That and not giving up points with the clock stopped are kind of the 2 keys when you're nursing a fairly big lead.
Up by 17 points, 49-32. A minute into the fourth quarter. Lower Columbia moving to our left in the red jerseys. That's Bailey Hockett. Changes direction, and then as she'll stop. Boy, it goes deep in. It will not come out. Maybe it's the rims on this end of the floor because this other end has been pretty good here for Peninsula. And going to the deck is Imani Smith, and she will go now to the free throw line.
She's really good at creating contact underneath. Nice aggressive move to the hole.
Bailey Hockett with the foul for Lower Columbia, her second personal foul. First team foul of this fourth quarter. Reset on the team fouls after 4. Imani Smith at the free throw line averages 13.3 points per ball game during the regular season. And that's a free throw that won't go. 64%er.
They missed 3 in a row there from the free throw line now. Got to get those to drop.
Smith, first team NWAC North Division out of Peninsula Community College in Port Angeles. She hails from Norco High School in Ontario, California. That one is good. And the lead is 18 points for Peninsula, 50-32. A 24-11 advantage for Peninsula in that third quarter. Now Lower Columbia looking for somebody open and looking for a 3, and they got a 3, but it won't go for Salava. Kept alive again by Peninsula. They've grabbed a whole bunch of rebounds here in this second half. Zara Lasser just waits for the defense to go by, still on the dribble. To Smith. She'll dribble around and then just put up a 15-footer, nice as you please, from the foul line jumper. It's up, and it is in. We got a injured player for Peninsula. Down is, looks like Cooks is down, and she landed awkwardly, and she's holding her right ankle.
And that shot definitely had a shooter's roll and English on it as it popped in through, but in the melee under the basket, going for the potential rebound, looks like Cooks came down and they're looking over her right ankle.
Let's step aside here with 8:08 to play in the basketball game. Peninsula 52, Lower Columbia 32. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
As certified jumpers, divers, and survival experts, Special Forces are dropped behind enemy lines to train foreign fighters, carry out covert missions, or prevent future conflicts. These soldiers live for the challenge, highly trained and highly intelligent. Special Forces soldiers are the best of the best.
We welcome you back here to Everett Community College, where they've just taken Dehan Cooks off the floor. And Steve, she was not putting any weight on that ankle.
She was, and unfortunately for her, she's out of the game right now, sitting on the bench, trying to look at the over the shoulders of the players right now. One of the trainers is looking at the right foot. We'll keep you posted.
And Tom, one thing about that is looking at Peninsula going into the finals tomorrow. That's a big person coming off the bench that really helps them, that they may not be available in that championship game should they continue with this 20-point lead.
Yeah, Dehan Cooks out of Canyon Springs in Las Vegas. Only 4.3 points per ball game, 4 rebounds per game, but as you mentioned, kind of a good force, a good 6th, 7th man to come off the bench. Foul is called. Free throws coming up here for Carissa Cannon. McKnight picks up the foul, her 3rd personal foul, first team foul of the 4th quarter. Just under 8 minutes to play in the game. And another free throw coming up here for Carissa Cannon. It's on the way, and it is good. 52-34. The lead is 18 points.
2-2-1 full court trapping zone press.
They're trying to wrench the ball from Peninsula. Down low they go. Nicely done, but too hard off the window for Sierra Moss. And the rebound cleared out by Lower Columbia. Kind of a high dribble there, but dribbling it in off the window and in for Carissa Cannon. Got the bucket. And it's 52-36, 16-point lead. Peninsula easily down, beating the no press at all, no defense, drop back, and Cherish Moss says, I'll just take an unmolested to the lay-in, and it's good. It's 54-36.
That's the danger, that press. They're overplaying, and Peninsula was able to sneak her down behind the press.
Here's a 3-ball, bang, down it goes for Nasiha Salava out of Heritage High School in Vancouver. Draws them to within 15 at 54-39, but time is on the side of Peninsula with 7 minutes to play in the basketball game. Right side, they'll try to answer, but that's an air ball, offline air ball, no good for Cherish Moss. And again, out of backcourt comes Salava for Lower Columbia. Hit her last 3 on the last trip down the floor, but she'll pass it off.
A 20-point lead has been whittled down to 15. This is what Coach Crum meant about staying the intensity in the second half in the fourth quarter.
That three won't go for Salava, and it's going to be cleared off by Peninsula. Down the floor they come. Zara Laster. Cross court, pull-up jumper from 8. Down she goes. That's a 2-ball in. She'll have to earn another one at the free throw line. Imani Smith goes to the stripe, and they're called a foul on Salava. She'll pick up her second personal foul, second team foul. 54-39 the score, 6:25 to play in the game. Peninsula with the lead. They're going to say a 2-point basket. It was inside the line, so it's 56-39. And Hankins will check back in now for Lower Columbia. Faye Chartrell will go to the bench.
Peninsula looking so effective here in the second half.
And Smith at the free throw line for Peninsula. Coming in at 24-5, looking for a chance to play for the championship tomorrow night against either Wenatchee Valley or Lane. Those two teams meet here at 4 o'clock game here at Everett Community College. After the miss, Lower Columbia with the basketball. Lexi Turner between the stripe. Now they're working over for another 3-ball that won't go. Salava hit one and then missed her last 2 3-balls, but Hankins grabs the rebound for Lower Columbia. Back out, up fake for a 3, decided better of it. 20 to shoot. Lower Columbia inside 6 minutes now to play.
Lower Columbia just having difficulty getting anybody for the open look unless they're that far away from the hole.
And that far away from the hole won't go for Salava. She's missed 3 now in a row from beyond the arc. And down the floor, some quick hands, knocks the ball out of bounds, but it'll still be in the possession of Peninsula with 25 seconds to shoot and 5:36 to play in the game. Peninsula ball at the baseline. Inbounds it comes as they'll work it out. Smith has it, looking for a screen, gets one, goes in against Hankins, puts it up too hard and fouled on the way in. She's on her way to the hole, and she will go to the free throw line. Imani Smith may have gotten kind of wrenched a little bit there as she got kind of bent over for a little bit and just kind of shake the bugs out. The foul was whistled here on Hankins. That's her second personal foul, and the third team foul here of the fourth quarter. Free throw number 1 is good for Imani Smith.
And Lower Columbia, should they go on to lose this ball game, will still have an opportunity to play tomorrow at 1 o'clock for that third place trophy.
So Smith, another free throw. It is no good. And Lower Columbia's Katie Hankins grabs the rebound for the Red Devils. Tick, tick, tick. As the time is running out here on Lower Columbia, they need some early offense quickly, and here's a little runner that goes. There's some early offense quickly. Carissa Cannon from Kodiak, Alaska puts it in. 57-41, a 16-point lead for Peninsula.
Cannon's really given them a little bit of a lift here as of late. 6 points in the quarter.
Now down low they go. A little backdoor feed inside for Zara Laster. It is up and it is good. And a timeout on the floor, and we'll step aside with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the game. It's Peninsula 59, Lower Columbia 41. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com. EVCC trivia time. EVCC, yeah, just 2 C's. Why do 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? Bill, you have an answer for me?
Because you got a
Wrong.
great education here.
Oh,
That is right.
Yeah, that is true. We have fun with sports, live music, and more. You'll never want to leave. And you can register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. That's everettcc.edu here. Our host for the tournament, Everett Community College. Great facility for this NWAC tournament. And it'll be here for this year and 2 subsequent years. Nice crowd on hand here on this Saturday afternoon. There have been fairly decent crowds all weekend long, and this is the first of 3 years here. People will get used to it like, hey, there's some good basketball being played in North Everett on the second full weekend of March. And right now it's a 18-point lead for Peninsula, 59-41, inside 5 minutes to play in the game. And a foul called. And the indication from the referees, and that will be a timeout on the floor. We step aside with 59-41 lead, Peninsula over Lower Columbia. This is the NWAC tournament on STSPN.com.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trap beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Big Bend Community College students had the highest student achievement points per student in the Washington State Community College system in 2014-15. Excellence in teaching and learning is the goal of Big Bend Community College, the largest and most successful commercial pilot program in the Northwest. Bill, you should commercial pilot. You could do that.
I don't think so.
You're hanging on to the rail up here, the third floor above the floor.
I am. But, going back to the community college system, it is such a great system. My sister actually was on the board of trustees at Everett Community College for a number of years, and my mom, way back before that, on the board of trustees. I've taken continuing education classes at Everett Community College, and the community college system here in Washington and Oregon and around is just excellent.
BigBend.edu for more information on Big Bend Community College. Here's a shot that's going to be a miss, no good for Lexi Turner. We're at 4:27 to play in the game. And the lead is 59-41 for Peninsula. And now Peninsula keeping the basketball. They can afford to take some time. 16 to shoot now. Dribble drive, pull up, and it's up and in for Imani Smith. Has done a nice job here in this basketball game today. And the lead is out to equaling the biggest lead for Peninsula now at 20 points with 4 minutes to play in the game. Now to Hankins, rattles out. Boy, they just won't go for Hankins all day long.
Yeah, she's been frustrated. They've been bodied up on her inside, so she really hasn't had a clean shot out. There's always been a body on her, and she's had several that have just bounced around and popped out.
Now Peninsula working it. Zara Laster, we're on the right side. As they will work it, backing down, then back out for a shot that will go. I thought it was going to rattle out, but Cherish Moss puts it up and in and makes it 64-41, 23-point lead. Ball out of bounds. It'll be right back to Peninsula with 3:22 to play. And it's time to start maybe talking about our player of the game and who you like in this basketball game.
Imani Smith, has had a great game. She has 18 points, and she's, had that shooter's role, particularly in the second half. She has been tough. She had 12 of her 18 here in the second half when Peninsula has pulled away. So Imani Smith, our player of the game.
Okay, Zara Laster. We'll hear from Steve Willitson, our player of the game, coming up in the Subway Fresh Take player of the game booth down to our right on the floor. And that is give it into Sierra Moss. Moss will go up. Too hard, no good. Right back up and hits the top of the backboard and out of bounds by Janice McKnight. But now down to 3 minutes to play and a 23-point deficit facing Lower Columbia. And that'll bring a few players off the bench now for Lower Columbia. Maria Villanueva checks back in. Haven't seen her since the first half. Carissa Cannon is out there. Brekova is still out there as well. Jenny Westland now from Rainier, Oregon is on the bench. And here's a steal Grabbed there by Imani Smith, just to add to her stat total for our player of the game honors. Now down back to the basket, McKnight. Little spin move there. Nice move. Didn't get any points. The rebound tried to put back by Anaya Rudisha, and it's going to be missed. And up the floor, here comes Lower Columbia. That's Cannon along the baseline. Goes in 1, 2, 3, 4 white shirts around her. But she will go to the free throw line after being fouled. So Carissa Cannon at the line here. And the foul was called on Amanda Hutchins from Wasilla, Alaska. What if can she see Sarah Palin's house from her house, I wonder?
It's a really good question.
Third personal foul, third team foul. First free throw won't go.
Lower Columbia is not a really high-scoring team, but they had a lot of games in the high 60s and 70s, and the defensive effort that Peninsula has put on them to hold them to 41 points has really been impressive.
Now both teams are pretty much clearing the benches here. Allison Crum will send just about a whole new batch of players out there. Only our player of the game, Imani Smith, remains on the floor. Free throw is good for Carissa Cannon. 2:35 to play. And the lead is 22 points for Peninsula. And a slot into tomorrow's 5:30 NWAC Women's Championship game. Lane or Wenatchee Valley will be the opponent. That game decided here coming up about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Here's a little put-up shot by Nike Criddle from Marsh Valley and Downey, Idaho is a miss. And now Lower Columbia with it. Villanueva over to the right side. That's a three. Will not go for Lexi Turner. And with inside 2 minutes to play, here comes Peninsula one more time. That's Imani Smith. So they work the perimeter now. They'll have more than 24 hours now to recover until the championship game. Here's a shot. That's a three. That's a miss. No good by Sephora Yayaus from Brussels. Now from the Czech Republic, that is Brikova with it. Dribbling in, laying it up and in. And a timeout called here. It's going to be called by Allison Crum of Peninsula. And let's bring you this little piece of information here. Your kids are on the path to reaching their dreams. Why not join them with more than 60 programs of study at Pierce College? There's a fit for you, your life, and your schedule. Find your path at Pierce College today. Visit piercectc.edu. It's possible. Pierce College, that's piercectc.edu. 64-40.
Medical specialists in the Guard
They wanted to get some more substitutes into the game.
Your kids are on the path to reaching their dreams. Why not join them with more than 60 programs to study at Pierce College? Is a fit for you, your life, and your schedule. Find your path at Pierce College today. Visit pierce.ctc.edu. It's possible, Pierce College. They got that one right. Finally. Here we go. Final minute 18 to play. It's been a long afternoon. We got another game to go. Peninsula with it with a big lead by 20, coming up on a minute to play in the basketball game. We'll hear from our player of the game with Steve Willis down on the floor as soon as we are done. They dump it down low, easy, laying up and good for Cammie Butler. Butler out of Hillcrest High School in Sandy, Utah. Averages about a half a point a ball game, so she's above her season average here in this championship semifinal. Shot on the way for a three, rattles off, it will not go. A miss there for Lower Columbia. Villanueva on the miss. 33 seconds to play, 20 to shoot. As they'll work it right side. Sephora Yayus going in, little fake shot, fake pass, didn't get it, got the shot, got her own rebound. Back out for a reload, shot clock is dead with 18 seconds to play. And they can just dribble this one out, down to 15, down to 14. And the Peninsula Pirates at 24-5. And their head coach, Allison Crum, will head into the into the finals tomorrow. One of the assistant coaches saying, just dribble it and just hold on to it, and that is it. And the horn will sound, and that will be your final score. With the score, the Peninsula Pirates winning it 66-44 over the Lower Columbia Red Devils. We're going to hear from our player of the game coming up here after they shake hands in the middle of the floor. It'll be either Lane, the defending NWAC champion, or Wenatchee Valley. That game coming up, the 4 o'clock game scheduled here at the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center here in North Everett. Bill, a game where it was close, and then suddenly Peninsula just seemed to put their foot on the gas.
They absolutely. The ball started to go in. They got great looks. They really hit the offensive boards in the third quarter, outscoring LCC 24-11 in that quarter, and came away with a big victory to go into the finals here tomorrow.
So going down to the Subway Fresh Take competition, character, community, and the NWAC, we're going down to our player of the game with Steve Willits on the floor. Steve.
We're with Amani Smith. And got her on camera there. We finally were able to show her where that is. Amani, you're heading to the championship for the second straight year. Congratulations. Tougher game in the first half than maybe you were expecting, but you came out good in that third quarter.
Yeah, we knew this whole tournament it was gonna be tough. Wasn't gonna be an easy one. And they came out strong. They were getting back on defense, and they know we're a transition team. So if they could stop us from transitioning, we knew it was gonna be a tough one, and they executed pretty well, but in the end, we turned out to execute a little bit better. So
now you're the defending champions of this tournament. Does it help you a little bit knowing that you've already been here once, maybe a little less nerves? Have you been able to sense that with your team this week?
Well, yeah, we finally have figured it out. We're clicking. We're at our highest right now, and it's so much fun to be a part of. But I wouldn't say that it's a little bit easier, because we do have that chip on our shoulder. We have that huge dart on our back, that target, because we did win it last year. So our freshmen came in this year, and they took all of it upon them, knowing that we had won it last year. So I wouldn't say it was easier. For me, I would say it's a lot tougher this year than it was for last year. But, I mean, we're playing in a familiar place, which does make it a little bit better.
You've got Lane or Wenatchee Valley coming up, 2 teams that defeated you this year. In a way, does that maybe help you a little bit, knowing that it keeps everybody motivated, knowing that there's not going to be complacent or too overconfident, knowing that they want a little revenge?
Well, yeah, I mean, that does, I mean, we do use it as motivation. We've only lost to 3 teams, and like you said, these 2 that are about to play right now are 2 tough teams that we did lose to, one twice to earlier this year. But we do have a chip on our shoulder. We're ready. We're going to come out firing, and we're a new team than we were when we played both of those teams earlier this year, and that's what we've been talking about so much this tournament, that we're a completely different team. We look different, we're playing different, we're gelling. So it's a lot of fun, and they're going to have it. Whichever team wins, it's not going to be an easy win if they come for us. It's not going to be easy.
There you go, gelling at just the right time. We're going to let Amani go back and get ready for the championship game. Congratulations, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Steve Willits. Yeah, I've been saying that Lane's a defending champion. Lane is a defending runner-up. Peninsula did win the championship a year ago, but Lane coming in, and Bill, you got to figure they're the prohibitive favorites coming in at 30-1.
They definitely are, and the way they have played getting here, Lane knocked off Everett 89-39, and then they get into the quarters and they knock off Centralia 80-48. So those games have not even been close. Of course, it's going to be a little different story tonight, coming up against a 26-5 Wenatchee team, but still, Lane's got a lot of momentum, and that they would love to get back and face Peninsula in that championship game, but Wenatchee Valley will have something to say about that.
The next semifinal getting underway here in about 23 minutes, so we are done with this game. Thanks to our statistician, Buddy Patrick. The Elvig boys over to our left running the things for STSPN. For Steve Willits and Bill Kusler, I'm Tom Lafferty, reminding you of the final score from Everett Community College. It was the Peninsula Pirates 66, the Lower Columbia Red Devils 44. You've been watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.